Yo, what is up, everybody? It is your boy Skywalker OG coming at you with another Rise of Kingdoms video, and today we are going to be discussing the push that 902 had on our King's Land yesterday, and well, whenever this video comes out, it'll be 2 days ago. And what I'm gonna go into the issues we had on responding to this push, and yeah, that's how we're gonna break down this video. Let's just say that. So whenever 902 grouped up and started pushing and placing down these flags, for one, if we didn't have any big power players that like our whale accounts to be able to swarm down the flags that are being built, you need to first not go into the group just like this and just start getting killed. I know that I believe I had one or two marches that I did do that with, and obviously we are all thirsty for kills, so I mean, it is what it is. But the smart decision is to not go into the immense amount of enemy troops until you have collected your allies into a murder ball. That is obviously the wise decision, not doing this like we did here and going in one by one, or 3 or 4 people at a time and then just getting smacked and sent back home. Yeah, that's definitely not the option to go. I did end up getting some really good trades, but again, if this would have been a very strong kingdom and they would have coordinated a bit better on this open field push, they would have done a lot more damage than they ended up doing. So I mean, it's a good thing they're not too well coordinated on the field, but again, it was still a big hospital bill for me to have done this, and I could have gotten trades a lot better had I actually grouped up and listened to my own markers that I was putting in. But of course, that was only 1 or 2 of my marches, not all 5 of my marches like some of these players are doing, which is, like I said, not a good thing, because the amount of enemy troops that you are running into, you want to collect with your allies before you go to push up. Obviously, you don't want to try to solo swarm a flag like the T2AR player just tried to do. Dag-yo. Yeah, I mean, if you're a T2AR player at this point, you're the one that's touching the flags. You shouldn't be on the field. You know that our kingdom has enough players to push the field. At this point, you should be getting your leaders, or your leaders should be getting you together to actually start sending rallies at both of these flags that are building and start properly garrisoning our flags that are touching. That way, if they start rallying, we are safe. I didn't see a lot of that happening. That's a very bad thing to see. And it definitely makes you a little bit frustrated to watch it and not be able to do anything about it, being in a different alliance. But yeah, we got to do a better job at coordinating and being prepared for a surprise attack. I mean, I understand that we're a huge kingdom. We locked this up and sealed it up in about an hour and a half. But with the amount of troops that we were able to gather up in about 20-25 minutes, none of these poor choices should have been made on either side. Well, on our side, I guess I should say. Yeah. And again, you don't want to walk up to the pass like I just did, because all the enemies are just going to hop out of the pass that just loaded up into the pass. I want to pull back, try to target out the players that are caught out, and then just keep trying to, whatever position that the enemy is trying to get, you want to try to cut off that reinforcements, clear off the field, and then inevitably start pushing that that objective that the enemy is going for so much. I mean, if you're outnumbered, obviously you can take the advantage and go to the side that the enemy is not pushing for really hard, but if you have the numbers, you should go for the main objective that the enemy is going for, which is this upper flag. And that's because if they actually disconnected some of this upper flag territory, a lot of cities would be able to be rallied. And of course, like I said, we were able to snuff this out pretty quickly. But yeah, there was a lot of mistakes made, and I would just go through and let y'all guys see the field battles and listen to some music, whatever. I mean, I enjoy that more than watching somebody speak. But yeah, there was a lot of mistakes, and I would really like to discuss them as we come across them. Here it's just a bunch of open fielding. You should never be dragging and dropping in a situation like this, like I am doing. But if you do, you should be dragging and dropping close to mountains, like I'm doing here, or close to a bush, somewhere where there's not a massive group of troops, enemies or allies, and then start actually clicking to select your enemies, because of the fact of how many troops we have on the field. With different alliances, you never want to select drag and drop to select your enemy troops. That's how you get a lot of this crossfire, is by dragging and dropping to select enemy troops. I know it's a little bit quicker, but the efficient way is to actually select the enemy you would like to target instead of dragging and dropping. We have to do a better job at selecting our targets instead of drag and dropping. That is a very big thing that I'm seeing in a lot of Empyrean Kingdoms. We're attacking our own troops because a lot of players like to drag and drop, and it really is a very bad decision when you're in a group of troops like this, unless you're dragging and dropping to neutral territory like I just did, where there's no marches at. That is sufficient, that is fine. But if you're targeting, you want to actually target. I mean, there's no point in drag and drop anyways, because if you're dragging and dropping on top of a group of enemies, you're just dragging and dropping onto a random target. You still want to target a specific troop. You would like to target their squishiest march, or you would like to target the march that counters one of your marches. You have to target the specific march that you want. You do not want to drag and drop. It is not the way you field fight. You do not drag and drop on the open field in an active kingdom. It is a no-no. Not to attack players, at least. Like I said, you can onto the open field. It's fine. Go into a corner of a map, or go into a mountain where, if you click it like on the mountain edges or whatever, obviously you can't march into the mountain, but it will still move your troops into the closest direction of where your cursor or wherever your finger is whenever you drag and drop that march, without dragging and dropping on an ally. So yeah, keep that in mind. Little food for thought. And again, we did a really good job at cutting off a lot of these troops and reinforcements to be able to come into their flags, but we did a really poor job on the reaction time and the reaction overall on our connecting alliances. We shouldn't be... The alliances that's connecting, or the alliance that is connecting to this flag, they shouldn't be on the field over here. They should be coordinating coordinating members to rally the flags that are being built. Them flags should have already had a rally on them and started going down. We have the whole field with T2A, SQ16, K916, our allies. They were busy down at the bottom side at RW98. So we didn't really have them up here, but I mean, we had T2A, which is 13 billion power or 12 billion power alliance. We had SQ, which is K916, which is 11 billion power alliance, and then we had SQ, which is a 10 billion power alliance. So we have plenty of alliances at this gate to hold the gate. So sorry guys. So that T2AR actually could go for the objectives, but again, it just took them a little bit too long to go for the objectives. Anytime you're in a war, guys, no matter how strong your kingdom is, or no matter how much your enemies do not fight you, you never ever want to AFK, especially if you are the front line alliance. You never want to AFK your leadership, meaning you don't want to have multiple R4s offline at the same time. You want to be able to rotate your leadership, so that way if a scenario like this breaks out, all your leaders or your R4s, of course you need to make sure that they know what they're doing in a war scenario, but that way they start putting down markers on all these flags that are being built. Hey, we need an archer rally here, or hey, if you know your actual players, who is the rally leader, say I'm a rally leader, your R4 should marker it saying Skywalker OG rally this flag. You know, you should be putting up what you want your members to be rallying with, or you should be targeting somebody to rally, or you should be markering it and saying join voice chat. You should be doing something to direct your allies in the right path of taking out that flag as quickly as possible before going out onto the open field. That should be definitely your main priority. And like I said, you should never have any of your or multiple of your leadership offline at the same time, because mistakes are going to be made whenever your alliance members doesn't have the markers. Mistakes are going to be made whenever people just have the ability or the thought that they're just going to go anywhere they want to go. Instead of going to the objective, they're just thirsty for kills. Yeah, you have to direct your alliance members, you have to direct your players. It's a war game, and your leadership, your king, your R5s, your regents, whatever you want to call them, they have to be there to guide you to go in the right direction in war. Biggest mistake on a rally, guys, biggest mistake on a rally you can ever do is let a rally go down below 1 million troops. You are giving every player that comes into that rally a lot of dead, especially if the flag is able to stay reinforced, which it wasn't. So I am very surprised that that rally did so poorly. I would imagine there is no marker over this flag saying that we are about to send an infantry rally at it, which first off, they should have scouted it and seen it was a Xeno and used a Ramses Tommy or Ramses YSG, because we don't have many Nebos in the kingdom, or used a Guan Herald or a Guan Alex, something to that effect. They should not have used an Alex YSG. But either which way, if you are going to rally a structure, you definitely need to put a marker over that structure saying, hey, we're sending an infantry rally, reinforce, infantry rally, reinforce. If you don't have any reinforcements, or you don't have any markers saying reinforce, or you don't have any members intending to reinforce that rally, you might as well not even send it, because you are just going to cost a lot of your members a lot of troops, and you know, make yourself not look too great. And again, you definitely want to break it whenever your troops are below 1 million inside the rally. That's no bueno, no good at all. You are losing your skill damage, you are losing your attack damage, you are losing absolutely everything that you could possibly want to be gaining. You are losing when you go down below 1 million troops inside of a rally. Man, I hate whenever players stack up at the pass like this, because you already know that all these marches are just jumping in and out. So you already know for a fact every person that's at this pass is dragging and dropping on marches. So anybody that even goes up to a pass like this and stuffs their face right up into this pass honestly deserves to be hit by each other, because you know for a fact people are dragging and dropping. There's no way they're targeting those marches fast enough to be able to target with all 5 of their marches and selecting the right person before that person actually hops in, or hops out of the pass and then hops back in. You know they're not. You know they're like, oh, I gotta get that kill, and dragging and dropping. And you see that happening right here. One of our boys, Zeta, is getting swarmed, and I believe that is actually by our own team. Yep, I see a few red lines from our own alliances. And like I said, you can't, you shouldn't be up at the pass that close fighting, because you already know for a fact there are players up there that are just dragging and dropping their troops. That is just asking for trouble. I'm telling you, man. Plus, I mean, even if the enemy is pushing or not pushing, you honestly should never get that close to their pass, because if a smart enemy would just fill up that pass completely full and then hop out and mug one of your marches and then jump right back in, and they would hardly lose any troops, because they're coming at you with pretty much a full freaking rally with all their commanders, with all their different skills popping off on one march that they already discussed about. Hey, they're in voice chat with only 5 players that have 5 marches apiece. Like, hey man, we're about to pop this guy right now, and then they just hop out and boop 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 boop. You're dead. But yeah, you should never yeah. Never ever stick your nose up in a pass. Just no good can come of it. And then these rallies here, obviously you should always just eat up all these troops that's coming from a rally or a flag or trying to go into a rally or a flag. That's a good rally right there. A Guan. What was that? Wait a minute. Yeah, Guan Leo. That's what I thought. But again, they probably have no flag on it that says reinforce this rally. I mean, that's Panda Time. He's got really, really good gear and a really, really good commander pairing here. And I don't know why they started swarming. When you're starting to swarm like this, you are obviously you're still distributing the dead, but you're actually producing so much skill damage that you're lessening the dead that is inside that garrison instead of just letting it go with one rally. If you just let that go with one rally, every single person inside that garrison will lose so much more troops than you swarm in that garrison. I disagree with swarming garrison marches if you're already winning. If you have the trouble with somebody just filling in the flag from their city right in front of the flag, then I understand the swarm. But if you're able to cut the reinforcements like we're able to do here, where they're barely able to get their sneak some of their marches through, then you should definitely not swarm the flag. You should never swarm the flag in that situation. You should just let your rally completely eat down that flag, and yeah, I mean, the trades are going to be immensely in your favor. Your enemy is going to regret filling that flag, and they'll definitely remember it before they fill that flag again, versus you swarming it down, because like I said, you're doing a lot more skill damage, the flag's going down a lot faster, and you're making the troops or the enemy lose a lot less troops by doing it. And again, here's another rally where I guess they're not telling them to reinforce. We have a bunch of T2AR around here that are not filling up the Archer rally. I don't see any coming into the rally, and again, the rally is going down. Oh, there's one. We got one reinforcement. But again, that rally is going down below 1 million troops, and you should have already canceled this rally. But they have marches swarming it. And if I'm not mistaken from the skill damage, they have something in a YSG, so I'm going to hope that's not archers swarming that flag and not getting inside the garrison. That would honestly be very bad. The only reason why they were able to burn this flag is actually because as soon as you are finished building a flag, the game boots all the troops that are inside the flag out of the flag. So if it's being rallied or it's about to be rallied, all your troops are going to hop out, so that flag's going to burn. That's how that works. That's why they burn that flag. That was actually not a good rally. For one, if that Ramses was popping skills a bit too fast, so I'm sure he's got a lot of the skill buff talent trees. You definitely don't want to have, or rage buff talent trees, or talents in his tree. Sorry, God, dog. You definitely don't want to be regenerating rage whenever you are using Ramses Tommy. When you have Tommy on the back end, you want to have Tommy put as much stacks as she can on the target before you proc your skill. That's how Tommy is with Eddie. That's how Tommy is with any pairing. You want her to put absolutely as many stacks as she can before you proc any skill off. So that Ramses was procking a bit too fast. I do believe that was an improper build for a Ramses Tommy. But again, it's versus a Xeno. It should be able to do very well since they weren't able to reinforce it too well on the flag. But the reinforcements for the rally is key, guys. If you're not reinforcing the rally, you're not going to be able to have positive trades. And we need to be punishing the enemy whenever they try to build out, or whenever they try to garrison, or whenever they try to rally. Anything we can do to punish the enemy, we have to do it. Like, there's no option around it. I don't care about your solo kills. I don't care about the solo stats that you want. You need to punish your enemy whenever they attack you, otherwise they're just gonna go farm back up and then come back at you. The good thing is we don't have such a strong enemy, so it's not a huge deal, but had we had a strong enemy, this would actually be a very impactful little push that they made here, because it was incorrect. Almost everything we did here in the first 30-45 minutes of this whole fight, from our alliance that was touching, was incorrect. It was just wrong. The rallies were incorrect. The garrisons were incorrect. We had Xenos in the flags, but we had Charles Theo's garrison instead. That makes no sense. If you have a Xeno in the flag and it's an Attila coming, you put Xeno as the garrison lead. If you're a garrison lead, guys, I don't know if you know this or not, but if you are a garrison leader currently in the flag, you are able to change the garrison captain to another person. Again, if you are the current garrison leader in a flag, you can change the garrison to another player without being an R4 or without being a title. So if you see that somebody has a better garrison inside the flag and you see that your commander is the leader, you should, as a member of the alliance, go ahead and switch the garrison and not try to be the ego guy and not try to steal all the kills for yourself. You need to think about your alliance and every single member that is joining that structure or that rally, whatever the choice is. You need to make sure that the best of the best is inside of the rally or the structure, leading it at all times, no matter who it is, no matter who you're fighting. You want the best of the best. Otherwise, you are literally just making your allies lose more troops than they necessarily have to, and I completely disagree with that. I don't like seeing that. I don't care about you want to do it your own way. I don't agree with people trying to do things their own way just to look good, or just because, hey, I gotta prove my point. If it's a proven thing that this beats a certain pairing and other people have lost millions of troops proving that point, go ahead and use what the proper thing is. Don't try to be a hard-headed, stubborn person and do whatever you want. I'm not saying that this alliance of ours is that way. I'm not saying that that's what they did. I'm just pointing out that you should, as a player, want to help your alliance more and then try to boost your own stats more. Again, I'm not saying that this what any of these players did or this alliance did. It's just a point that I am trying to make, because I know there are players like that that will teleport on the front line that's at 56, 60 million power and set a rally on a flag or set a rally on a 100 million power city just because, oh, look at me, I'm rallying something. Like, no, dude, you have no gear. I mean, I've seen your gear. You have no gear. I don't know why you're rallying. You're about to cost everybody a crap ton of troops just to... what? For what reason, when we have all the ralliers or garrison? And here's a flag that I was talking about. We have Charles Theo in that flag. It actually did end up taking decent trades, meaning it didn't lose. It did not lose, but it didn't win. Like, it didn't take the trades that it could have, because there was a Xeno in the flag. So if they would have just switched it to Xeno, we could have took possibly 2-to-1, 2 and 2.5-to-1 trades instead of the 1-to-1.5 or 1-to-1.3 trades that we did take. And that was only because they weren't able to reinforce the rally. That was the only reason why this flag did well, because they did reinforce the flag from T2AR, which is a good thing, obviously. Kudos to them to keeping it topped off. And 902, we were able to keep all their troops away from reinforcing this rally. So obviously we did take good trades, but again, you should have switched to the Xeno that was in the flag. Whoever the garrison leader was, or whoever the titled R4 was online, should have switched it. Here we have a Ramses art onto one of our Xeno flags, and of course Ramses does pretty well versus Zenobia, so we did go ahead and give the call to swarm it for Panda. Panda loves swarming everything. He got yelled at a couple times for trying to swarm Attilas, but you know, archers, man, go ahead and swarm your heart out. Swarm those archers all you want, buddy. You have your T5 for it. It's what you love to do. And he got good reports on it. He sent them to me afterwards. But that was like after I was recording, so I'm not really gonna worry about adding it in here. And again, there should be all these marches that's at the pass should be killing all these marches that are coming from that rally to really make them pay a huge hospital bill for coming at us and rallying these flags. Sorry guys, I am still getting over my cold a little bit. So that is a thing. And again, at this point, after these few rallies, it was pretty much just a bunch of open field fighting. This was 902's push. They had a well-coordinated push. They had 926 slightly pushing on the right side. 914, they didn't really show up. The lower kingdom on the left side, 98, they actually pushed very, very well. They stayed out longer than 902 did. We ended up burning 902 out in roughly an hour and a half, 2 hours, something to that effect, and taking these flags down. And actually they just completely gave up their push at that time, but 98 was still actually the only Darkness Alliance out and about. And yeah, we went and gave them some love after that. We didn't get that on recording. Here again, this is exactly what I was talking about earlier. This is one of those situations where you just know that this guy set that rally just because he wanted to be like, hey, look at me, look at what I could do or something. He's got to prove himself, I guess, because there's absolutely no reason in the kingdom of K916 at the moment, T2AR was sitting at a 12 billion power alliance. There's absolutely no way in hell that Saladin Khan was the best march. First off, they're using the Guan inside of here. This flag should have been dead already. But there's no way in hell that Saladin Khan was the best garrison available to us in T2AR at that time. I just see my boy Panda in there. Panda's in there. He has his Guan Leonidas. We have Guan Alex's over there. I sent Zeta Raptor over there who had a Guan Alex. He has some legendary equipment. Panda's rocking most legendary equipment. We have equipped up commanders that we sent over there. There is absolutely no reason that a Saladin Khan should have been the commander that we went with to rally this. The R5 over there, Titney, has a Ramses YSG, Ramses Tommy. Again, no reason that this player should have been rallying this. He should have been actually kicked out of the alliance and made this rally cancel, because I don't care how good the troops was. He just wasted our troops. He just wasted some of the alliance members' troops. I don't care how good his trades was. He wasted people's troops, because any other proper rally leader would have just took amazing 1 to 3, 1 to 4, maybe even 1 to 5 trades on this flag, because it's freaking Guan in the garrison. It's not even a proper garrison flag. Any proper rally would have ate this flag up and just mopped it and destroyed it. And you can see from the white numbers, even from the skill damage, that that's just not happening from that Saladin Khan. Yes, it's winning. Yes, it's doing more damage. No, it is not doing more than a Ramses YSG would have done. No, it's not doing more than an Alex Hero would have done. No, it's not doing more than a Guan Hero. No, it's not doing more than a Guan Leo would have done. That's my point. We had all the better options. There's absolutely no point that you went with a subpar rally. Here, Funky Brewster, they got a better rally going down. We got a Ramses YSG. That's a much, much better rally. That's definitely what you want to see. I hope this rally leader has the proper skin on. And then T2AR, again, they have some archer marches coming over to swarm that flag. And again, you should just be bringing your marches over to reinforce the rally, guys. It's going to cost the enemy a lot more dead troops if you just rally it down and let the rally take down the flag instead of swarming it. Honestly, I don't understand why people have to swarm structures like this. I get it if it's building and you can burn it, or if you burn it, it'll go poof and blow up. But if it is already built and you have to burn it down, there's absolutely zero reason to set a swarm on it whenever you have a proper rally on it. Just reinforce the rally and punish the enemy for pushing out and trying to fill this flag. It was so frustrating, guys. I honestly got very frustrated at our team watching this, but I didn't want to make the video to hate on anybody. I just wanted to make the video to kind of inform, let our guys in T2AR and let our guys in T2AR know, what to do in this situation next time. Let everybody else get a view and a sight on, a situation like this whenever somebody tries to surprise jump you. Even though, we had an easy Kingsland, we've had an easy KVK so far, we know that 902 is not going to be able to push us in. We got very relaxed, and that's not the mindset you should have inside of Kingsland, especially not until you have advanced past the level 8 passes and you start burning off the enemy from the Kingsland. You shouldn't just have that relaxed mindset. You honestly shouldn't even be farming inside of Kingsland because of farm killers. There's just no point to give the enemy kills. You should always be on your toes and ready for war. It's a thing, man. You always got to be ready. No matter how big or strong your kingdom is, the enemy could come and throw a sucker punch at you, and if you're not ready for it, well, they can punish you. I mean, I promise you, we got a lot better trades on all these garrisons and rallies overall. I can guarantee you that after looking at them. But they could have gone a lot better and a lot heavier in our favor on every single one of these rallies and every single one of these garrisons had we have taken a step back, taken a breath, set our markers properly, got our players in the proper positions, got our rally leaders in the proper positions, got the proper rally leaders to rally, got the proper garrisons in the right positions, and then started garrisoning things instead of just throwing our troops in. That would have been a lot better option, and that would have been a lot more efficient way to use our kingdom's troops. But again, we have a lot of troops, we haven't had much fighting, and we just want to have some fun. So all in all, good fight, guys. Good push, 902. Good attempt. Good job, T2AR. You guys did button it up quite quickly on those rallies, after you caught your bearings, and we all got in voice chat. And again, here's the rally going down to below 1 million. And you shouldn't be letting somebody rally. You shouldn't let somebody lead a rally who doesn't know how to break a rally. This is, again, a waste of our troops. That rally actually went down to dead. So that was one of the reports that did cost us. That was one of the reports that costed us a lot of troops. I guarantee you it cost us a lot of troops. I actually didn't ask for that report, but I guarantee you it cost us a lot of troops. I don't even have to show you it to tell you that it cost us a lot of troops. I could probably say that it costed us about 500, maybe even 600,000 T5. Yeah. I guarantee you it was bad. There's just in Attila rallies, guys, don't swarm Attilas. There's no reason to swarm Attilas, especially if you have a Xenotheo in the flag. If you have a proper garrison in the flag, you are winning the garrison. You are winning the trades. Let the enemy take the dead. Don't fill up your hospital. There is no reason for it. Do not fill up your hospital and give the enemy more severely wounded and better trades. Well, more severely wounded on you and better trades, just so you can swarm it and say you swarmed an Attila. That doesn't make sense. Don't do it. Do not swarm Attila. Let the freaking flag kill the Attila. Alright? Okay. Anyways, this was pretty much it. They went ahead and re-rallied this flag. We didn't catch that on this video because this was the point that I dropped off and then started messaging in our leadership chat for T2AR to start responding and get in our voice chat. Oh, yep, I did catch it. Never mind. I cut off where I started messaging them, I guess. And then they started putting down the right markers. We caught our bearings fully, and yeah, we started actually putting the hammer down, and T2AR was able to knock down this flag. Once we were able to burn it the second time, we have so much on the combustion tech that this flag wasn't able to be healed again, and then it just burned, fizzled, and died. And yeah, that was 902's push. It burned out with 902's push, and that was it. I do have some of the garrison reports, I do believe, at the end of this video. Let's see. Yep, it's coming up in 40 seconds. We do have the a few of the garrison reports to show you. And you can see that, you know, we did take very good trades on a lot of the garrisons, but again, it could have been a lot better had we put the proper marches in a lot earlier. And this was the first garrison that I was talking about. They had Charles Theo in when we had Stan's Zeno Charles in the whole time, and they finally changed it to Charles's or Stan's Zeno Charles. Zeno Theo is a lot better, but Stan didn't have that, and we had 3 flags on our siege, and we had to go in. So yeah, 2. And then let's look at Felipe's last rally, and that'll be it, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you hit like, subscribe, and peace till next time.